Welcome to the Barclay Media Centre.
I am Taylor and with me in the studio is David.
Today we are going to talk about the National Takeover Day.
Well, what is the National Takeover Day?
This is a day that is led by Maggie Atkinson, the Children's Commissioner for England. The purpose of the day is to give children and young people across the United Kingdom the chance to work with adults and get involved in making decisions in all kinds of organisations.
This year, Barclay School is taking part in the National Takeover Day programme.
Have you ever wondered what the school would be like if it was run by young people?
Well, today as part of the National Takeover Day, we're going to find out what could happen if the school was run by young people.
Some of the senior managers, including the head teacher at Barclay School in Stevenage, have given up their jobs and handed their responsibilities over to some students.
The Barclay Media Centre went to find out.
We are here in Mr. James Ferringer's office.
Hello James.
Whose job are you taking over today?
The head teacher's Miss Upton's.
Okay, how does it feel taking over this job?
It's quite interesting, quite fun, good chance to learn.
What exactly?
What it's like to be a teacher, really. Well, part of the heads of staff. Yeah.
What have you enjoyed most about today's experience?
I don't know, it's getting a chance to speak to lots of teachers and influence things that are happening and plans people have, and give my own views and perspectives on that.
Did anything interesting happen to you today? Anything challenging that you wouldn't normally?
Yeah, saying hello to all the people that walked in, that was awkward. And because they all just ignore you, apart from one person who said hello, which was nice.
Oh.
It's quite weird to be on the other side of that situation.
Fantastic. In a few words, how would you sum up today's experience?
I would say enlightening, and it's been a really good learning experience.
So what exactly do you take away from this experience today?
What it's like to be sort of part of the sort of decision-making process of the school, and yeah, I'd say that's the most important thing that I've taken away.
Okay, thank you.
We are here in Mr. James Ferringer's office with Miss Upton.
Okay, how does it feel having young people run Barclay School today?
Well, it's been fantastic because I don't think we often get enough of what the students feel about the school. So, you know, we've had some, in our leadership meeting, for example, we had some discussions about things we wanted to do, like mobile phones and some of the issues we wanted to tackle. We even talked about the toilets. And getting the students' viewpoint is just critical because, of course, we're all coming from such a different side. So it's contributed hugely.
Brilliant.
How did James perform in his role today?
Very well. I think he's found that you have to be switch from one thing to another very quickly. You have to talk to people, all manner of people, very quickly in all different situations. I think it's been brilliant. I've enjoyed going into lessons with him. He's engaged with the students in the lessons. He's made some comments about how teaching he thinks is different now from how it was when he was back in Key Stage 4, and he's been invaluable when I've been doing the mentoring with students because, of course, actually he's got some very real advice to give.
So it sounds like today's been an interesting day then.
It has, very interesting.
Good. We're here in the Deputy Head's office with Josh Allen.
Hi Josh.
Hi,
Okay, whose job are you taking over today?
I'm taking over Miss Russell's, deputy head.
Fantastic. How do you feel about taking over this job?
I feel like it's really hard. It's been not that easy in a few hours, especially with all the curriculum, all the intense work I've got to be doing, and like all the work I've been doing in here. But it is easy. It is hard for Miss Russell and for me, but the few hours it's been a real hoot. And I just feel like it's a really good thing for a year 8 to be in here, to like work beside a member of staff, and not really to be in a lesson where I'm going to probably fail the work. but like it's really not that easy for somebody like me to just come in here all like not prepared for what the work is coming ahead. Well, for the EC walkabout, it wasn't very easy to decide what to do. But the first person who I had to go and see was in my form, so that was a little bit awkward. And it was really it's really difficult for staff to just give somebody an EC, and for somebody who's really difficult to take out the class. It's really hard, like, for somebody to just walk up to a student, say, "Can you come out of the class, please?" And then they just stop talking to you so rudely, and then like you have to like get really busy, and then you have to like, for me today, I had to go and see Mr. Fuller to see what he would say. And well, I was going to give the person who was doing EC a EC, but instead of that I had to give him a twilight because of the rudeness.
That must have been really difficult.
Yeah, it is.
What have you enjoyed most about your experience so far?
Working beside Miss Russell, of course, the leadership meeting I did, and getting into knowing most of the other like year group kids, and taking up the job of being deputy head.
Fantastic. What will you take away from this experience?
I'll take away the not really sure what I will take away, but like, except for the like EC bit, it's been a great day.
Fantastic, thank you.
It's okay.
Hi, we're here with the deputy heads, Miss Russell. Hello.
Okay, so how does it feel having young people run Barclay School today?
I think it's been great because actually Josh has been able to look at things from a different angle, a student angle, and therefore, for instance, when we were going through a notice that we were going to put up, gave me some really good feedback on perhaps what it should and shouldn't contain. So I think it's been very helpful.
That's good.
How did Josh perform today in his role?
I think he's done really, really well because, as he mentioned, he went to a very difficult EC where the student was being particularly difficult, probably one of the hardest you could get, and I think he dealt with it incredibly well, so that was tremendous. We've looked at the curriculum, haven't we, and that was a lot of number crunching and trying to and looking at what happens if children choose lots of different options we didn't expect, and that's a really hard task to do. And he's also conducted a questionnaire for me with some children, which I think is tremendous, and we've just been looking at it. So I think he's done really, really well, and I feel quite threatened. I'm sure he's going to take my job.
Oh.
Fantastic.
Brilliant, thank you.
We are here with Kim. Hello, in her office.
Hello, Kim. Hi.
Whose job are you taking over today?
Mr. Allerton.
Mr. Anderson.
How does it feel taking over this job?
It feels good to have some control and learn what it's like.
What kind of control? What were you doing?
Deciding about revision and target grades.
What made you agree to take part in the takeover day today?
I thought it'd be a good experience to see what goes on in the school.
What has been most challenging about the day?
Coming up with ideas for uniform and mobile phone rules.
Fantastic. What will you take away from the experience today?
How a school works and the details behind everything that seems so simple.
So in a few words, how could you sum up today's experience?
Awesome.
Brilliant, thank you.
We are with Mr. Ayrton. Hello, sir.
Hi.
How does it feel having young people run Barclay School today?
It's been very fascinating. It makes you think about what you actually do in your job and how you go about doing it, and it's made me consider exactly what we're doing it for. What is the sort of the purpose? And in the end of the day, that's for the students, trying to get the best out of the students.
Okay.
Fantastic. How did Kim perform in her job today?
I think Kim has performed very well, considering all the different aspects of what I do and the amount of information I suppose she's been subjected to. It's a challenging job. Whatever, anything to do with numbers and trying to keep on top of that is a challenge in its own right.
Fantastic. Does she have a future career?
Oh, definitely. I think she has a future career in lots of different ways. Whether it be in teaching or not, I don't know. But I think her plan is to go into teach English in Korea. So,
fantastic. Thank you. We're here in the studio with Miss Wright. Hello there. How has Ben performed today?
He's been brilliant today. I can honestly say he's done everything. He was moaning a lot because we actually went to look at some PE lessons this morning. So we were out in the cold and it was very cold. We were out in the cold for lesson 2 and then I had to do duty outside as well and go out on the field, so I dragged him out for the duty, but he was fantastic and I did give him a cup of tea because he was really cold by that point.
Oh, he's had a hard day then.
He's had a hard day.
So what was it like for you to step back and see somebody else do your role?
It's a little bit strange, but it's quite good because it teaches you what you're actually doing, and also we had a meeting this morning about the Year 11 Parents' Evening. We were talking to Ms Piper and Ben could give us some insight into, well, I'm not quite sure that would work, how about if you did it differently? And that was really useful to have somebody else, you know, looking in and saying, well, do you think that'll work? So that was really good.
Fantastic. And what would you say to students watching this and thinking, I want to do this? What would you say to them?
I'd say do it and then you can experience exactly what it was like. I can't remember Ben's quote about I didn't realise that staff had to go out in the cold and do this and do it every week, and I said, well, yes, that's how it works. And also, you know, the complex things about the parents' evening and saying, well, I didn't realise you had to think about all those things. And I think people just think, like with parents' evening, you put a load of desks out and you put a load of chairs out and that's it. And I think for people to actually experience the nuts and bolts of what you have to do is fantastic.
Brilliant, thank you. We are here in the studio with Miss Russell. Hello there.
Hi.
What was it like to take a back step and just watch somebody else do your role for the day?
Well, actually, it was rather good to actually allow someone to do your work, quite frankly. But I think actually it gives you a different view of how you could look at your work, because it's very easy to miss the student in all of it, to make a decision. So I thought actually it was fantastic when Josh came back and said, actually, maybe the quiet room for IT at lunchtime should be science rather than actually be the front lobby, which is naturally noisy anyway. So a completely different take on the situation from what we were looking at, where we didn't want them playing games in the front lobby. So I think it's been superb.
Fantastic. And lastly, what would you say to students watching this and who are looking at this thinking about doing a role? What would you say to them?
I think grab the opportunity, because the interesting thing is Josh had to encounter a number of quite difficult situations, one in particular that would be difficult for any member of staff, let alone a student, and he tackled it superbly well. And I think giving yourself the chance and the challenge, grab it.
Thank you, Miss. Thank you. We're here with Miss Upton and Miss Bibby. Hello, guys.
Hi.
Would you recommend other schools doing this today?
Absolutely. I think it's a fantastic chance for the students to get involved, to see what it's like. I think it's safe to say that some of the students have really very little idea of what we do, And I think it's really shown them that there's a lot of things that we do. But also it's been fantastic for us to hear what the students have got to say and to see things and to consider things from their point of view, which we try to do, but there's no substitute for actually having the students around the table at a meeting giving us their opinions.
Yeah, I think they've all enjoyed it today. Most of their feedback has been brilliant, which is nice.
Yeah, I think we've also found one of the things that Holly and I were talking about was the fact that her perspective from being in the class as a student to, and the perspective from today, being a member of staff, has actually made her realise that things are a lot better than she actually thought they were. So she's looking at things differently now and realising, just how good things are and what we can do to further improve those things.
I think it's true also that some students think that they know that we teach, but they don't really know all the other activities that go on.
Yeah.
And I think that's been a bit interesting for them to see.
So a bit disappointing really that we didn't just drink tea all day and biscuits. We only managed twice, didn't we?
So what was it like for you two, especially, to step back and let other people do your roles?
I found it quite eerie, I think, because I wanted to be there all the time, and in the end I had to go off and do something else, just so that I could let Holly loose, and to find out what really does go on, without having to worry about me being with her. So that was really good. I mean, she handled it incredibly well, and has done a number of meetings today, and has realised just what else is involved, while I just hid.
Well, of course, it's very difficult when you're used to being in charge of everything to let go, and everything that you do is everything we do is very important because we want it to be the best. So it is hard for us to sort of let things go and let other people do them, but it is good for us to do that.
Thank you.
We're here in the studio with Miss Palmer and Mr. Allerton.
So how has it felt today to take a back step of your usual job role and have someone else do it for you?
It's been a very good experience. Very challenging. I feel like I've worked probably a lot harder today than I have normally, just from the point of view of thinking about what I'm doing and trying to explain what I do. So it's been a challenge.
Okay.
I find it absolutely wonderful, actually. I'd love to do it again. It's been, as Mr. Allerton said, it's been hard work because you're trying to explain a lot of what you do automatically and to try and give some reasons for some of the things that we're working on. But also, I've got an awful lot out of it. Kirsten was very, very good at coming up with some ideas to move learning forward, and I'm going to be putting them into practice next week, so it's been fantastic.
Brilliant.
And what would you say to other students looking at this and saying, oh, I'm not going to do that? What would you say to them?
Go for it. Think carefully about the role that you want to apply for. Only go for it if you're serious about taking part and you really want to get involved in school life and make a difference to learning and school life as a whole, but definitely go for it.
I would agree exactly what Miss Palmer said.
Thank you.
Thank you. From everybody here who took part in the National Takeover Day, goodbye.
Bye!